Foodborne illnesses, also known as food poisoning, is an illness which is primarily caused by ingesting foods that contains harmful organisms. These include bacteria, parasite, and viruses and are often found in raw meat, fish, chicken, and eggs, but can spread to any types of foods. Bacterial foodborne illnesses include Salmonella, which is often found in raw, undercooked poultry and unpasteurized milk, E. coli, often found in raw, undercooked ground beef, and Shigella, found in stools of people who are infected, along with Listeria monocytogenes, found in raw and undercooked deli meats. In addition, common parasites are Cryptosporidium parvum and Giardia intestinalis, which are spread through water contaminated with the stools of people and animals that are infected. Common viruses include norovirus, which causes inflammation of the stomach and intestines, and hepatitis A, which causes inflammation of the liver. Common symptoms of many foodborne illnesses include vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, fever, and chills. Complications of foodborne illnesses can lead to dehydration and hemolytic uremic syndrome, which is a rare disease that affects children less than 10 years of age. Hemolytic uremic syndrome often develops when the E. coli bacteria enters the digestive tract, making toxins that enter the bloodstream. These toxins then destroys the red blood cells and the lining of the blood vessels.
So, what have we done about this issue? In order to limit the amount of foodborne illnesses, the CDC and other organizations have provided 4 steps to ensure safe food handling and consumption. These are comprised of hand hygiene, prevention of cross-contamination, the cookery of food, and food storage. Hand hygiene is extremely important, as germs have the ability to survive in many places. Therefore, it's recommended to wash hands with soap before and after handling food. It is also a main priority to clean surfaces that had contact with food. We must properly wash utensils and any other materials used to cook food. It is crucial that when you handle food, it is of the utmost importance to keep different meats, fruits, and vegetables separated from each other in order to prevent cross-contamination. Different meats can spread different bacteria, chicken with Salmonella, beef with E. coli. Therefore, we must use separate cutting boards and tools when cooking separate foods from each other, and as well as storing them in the fridge. Food must be cooked thoroughly in order to ensure safe consumption. Food is safe to consume when the internal temperature has reached a certain level. Once food has reached this level, it kills any bacteria that can cause sickness. For example, poultry is safe to consume when the internal temperature reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit. It is especially important to know how to store food as well. When storing foods, they should be kept at a temperature of below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It is also important to understand that when taking food out of the fridge, that a person must thaw food in cold water or in the microwave. If a person thaws food on the counter, then this allows bacteria to grow and multiply, thus increasing the chances of getting food poisoning. What are we doing about this issue today? Well, due to the complications that have been brought upon by foodborne illnesses, a lot has been done in order to assure that there is a small amount of foodborne cases. In accordance with the 4 steps to ensure proper food handling and consumption, governments have implemented various systems to ensure that food being sold maintains a high standard of quality. Some of these services include health inspectors traveling to different locations to evaluate the restaurant's hygienic standards. We also looked at the quality control of food being mass-produced and the evaluation of what animal feed is being given to cattle, swine, poultry, and seafood. For example, the use of hormones or if the animals are being fed inappropriate feed that can lead to certain diseases such as BSC or mad cow disease. There is also the use of contingency plans set in place so that if any product does get past quality control, then a mass recall can be signaled to warn consumers to stay away from the product.
Despite numerous prevention efforts in relation to foodborne illnesses, it remains a persistent problem since food can become contaminated at any point in the farm-to-table continuum as well as the consumer's own kitchen. This is why it's important for the control interventions and foodborne illness risk reduction to be implemented at every step through the food preparation process from farm to table. Globally, the highest incidence and highest death rates of foodborne illness burden can be found in Africa and Southeast Asia, including children younger than 5 years old. According to the World Health Organization, more than 91 million people fall ill and 137,000 people die each year.
There are an increasing number of large outbreaks that are being reported. There is a high impact of foodborne illnesses in children, the aging population, and the immunocompromised. Migrant populations demanding their traditional foods in the countries of settlement, the ease of worldwide shipment of fresh and frozen food, and the development of new food industries including aquaculture. Salmonella is still the most important agent causing acute foodborne illnesses, with the Salmonella enteritis being the most concern worldwide. Clostridium botulinum, Salmonella, and VTEC are more frequently documented in industrialized countries than in developing countries. E-tech, EPEC, Shigella, Vibrio cholera, and parasites are the main bacteria found in food in developing countries, but it is uncertain how many cases are contributed to food, to water, or to person-to-person transmission. Children under 5 years of age carry 40% of the foodborne disease burden, with 125,000 deaths every year. Unsafe food containing harmful bacteria, viruses, parasites, or chemical substances causes more than 200 diseases. Almost 1 in 10 people in the world fall ill after eating contaminated food, and 420,000 die every year, resulting in the loss of 33 million healthy life years. Diarrheal diseases are the most common illnesses resulting from the consumption of contaminated food, causing 550 million people to fall ill and 230,000 deaths every year. 364 outbreaks had been attributed to a single commodity. Leafy vegetables are 33%, fruits and nuts 16%, and mollusks 13% were implicated as the most common. Infected food handles were the source of 53% of outbreaks, and many contributed to 82% of outbreaks. Most foods were likely contaminated during preparation and service, except for mollusks, and occasionally products were contaminated during production and processing. Foodborne norovirus outbreaks should be more focused on food workers and production.
And with that, we've reached the end of the presentation. We hope this video is useful in informing you on foodborne illnesses and its associated factors. As we've learned today, foodborne illnesses can be acquired through several modes of transmission, so be sure to protect yourself from contracting one of your own by considering the precautionary procedures detailed in today's presentation, and most importantly, by washing your hands. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.